Welcome to the No Faces Comic Chat. This is I, your friend, your host, your guy outside digging through your dumpster for cracked CGC cases, BUB'S Comics in the house. And with me, as always, except for every fourth Wednesday, he just does his own thing. We got DS Comics in the house. Welcome, DS.
What is up? Glad to be here. Hey, here's a crazy thing listed on my comic shop. You can have this 9.8 for just $16,500.
Is that all?
That's it. What is it?
Wait, is that the buy it now price, or am I going to have to fight somebody for it?
I think you better get to it quick because I'm sure this won't last long at $16,000 for Kitty Pryde 1980 X-Men. I do not understand what's going on with that.
That's also the first Emma Frost too, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the first Hellfire Club?
Sure, okay.
Just saying, it's a triple threat. And with us additionally, tired of all the scintillating, conversationating goings-ons around here, we got Metarog here to throw that wet blanket of love he's got for the whole comic book community.
Oh, greetings, fellas. How great to be here again on the No Faces Chat. Hey, listen, I love the conversation. I just said, we're here to do the No Faces Chat. We got an audience that's waiting, that's, exasperated because we're not on. So I wanted to get to the brass tacks, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir. And let us go ahead and shout out those three people waiting patiently. We've got Rob Boswell. Ain't nobody got time for that, he says. Las Cruces, 1971. I believe that was the date of his first ulcer. 1971. That was the birth of his first ulcer. Her name was Irene. And we have Area 51. Mike is in the house, hailing from the great Middle West or Middle South, full West, bi-coastal, just don't call them tri-coastal, Canada. And we got Ben Compton is here as well. So I suppose we can start the show. He wasn't first. Oh, well. Fuchsia's Only's hanging in the winds. She's been stalking my channel ever since I've been showing a lot of Jim Balent Catwoman. That woman can't get enough of her putty tats. Wow. So she's hanging out, hoping for more meows. Jambo Comics is hanging out. Hopefully this isn't his flake-off moment before our big event this weekend where he and I attack the comic shops together. So look forward to that. That's going to be a big one. We're going to give him the old 1-2 punch. He's going to distract the shop owner while I pull all the wall books and run them out. We got James Gallegos in the house as well. Hello, James. The Jackson Roy Kirk is here saying hello, folks. I tell you, he's been putting up a lot of those great little Star Trek vignettes. So I'm a fan of Star Trek, the original series. I've been watching it over and over again my whole life. And he's been showing these like Sci-Fi Channel exclusive kind of where they do the intros and outros in between the commercials, and you give you little factoids on each of the episodes. And I have just this week almost purchased the Blu-ray compendium of sorts of that of those Blu-ray sets for the original series, but I chose not to because they lacked Jackson Roy Kirk's production quality. And I said, that's ridiculous. Wow. I can't get all that extra footage. I'm not dropping my hard-earned pieces of 8. William Smallwood's in the house as well. Thank you so much. Super Russ 9000. I love you. 3000 Super Russ. But if you put one more picture of your unkempt feet on Instagram, you will be hot, sir. Future Only saying hello. Captain Comic Mag Music's in the house as well. Giving the old roll call. We thank you, sir. William Small, he drops a haul. He says at the end of his videos, you got to ring that bell because you never know when content like this is going to drop again. But I tell you, it's between the hour of 12 and 1 p.m. Eastern time every single day. So there's a tip.
Hey, so you want a quick little rant? You just reminded me of something. This will be easy and painless, trust me. But
let's hear it.
All right, so you just reminded me about how if he puts one more of his feet on Instagram. So I have some pet peeves about comic book Instagram accounts. And if they post too many of a certain thing, I do unfollow them. And a couple things that come to mind are workout photos. I don't mind once in a while to see that you're staying healthy and staying in shape. Cool. I hope everybody is. Some people post way too many workout photos, unfollow. Selfies, unfollow. If selfie with no comic in it, if it's a selfie and you're at a con or you're at a shop or you're just posing with a book or other
or meeting up with other people in the community, I like those.
Yeah, those are cool. But just like your Facebook style, random, just regular selfies, workout photos and selfies do not belong on my feed, which is comics. So
can we please add a third for unkempt feet?
Yes, that too. I haven't had a problem with that on my feed, but if you are, I support.
I mean, the point is, even if it's beside a comic, then I still have to draw the line.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, see, if there's a comic in the photo, I allow a lot of.
That gives you a lot of leeway if you have a comic in there.
Pretty much anything. If there's a comic in the photo, whatever else it is cool. If there's no comic, then you're walking on thin ice.
So, Russ, next time you weigh yourself and you show your feet, put a comic kind of catty corner there.
I'm going to consider that a workout video and give them 2 strikes.
Or if you're going to, or wear your Marvel Comics shirt while you're working out or something.
Or cover your feet with them, good Lord, sir. Anyway, we got Fuchsia. Fuchsia is acknowledging her love of the felines, so we appreciate that. Russ is saying, sorry, it's all good. Captain Comics is here with his pieces of 8, showing us a grand old ye time. Jambo Comics is saying hello to other people, but not mentioning the fact that he may or may not be around, hanging around Saturday. So let's see. He'll be the first member of the comic community to see the old BUB'S boy hole. No, what was I going to call it? Well, it's not a man cave. I mean, come on, it's a boy hole. But we'll rename it. Maybe we'll let him rename it. We'll see. Actually, after all, there's got to be with membership comes privileges. That's what we got to remember. James Gallegos is still here. Says, paint them toenails. What a kind fella. Jambo says he's ready. Oh, boy, the gas tank is loaded up. All right, folks. I think we've got everybody here. Glad you could all make it. Sorry we couldn't make it. I wanted to be here. DS wanted to be here. Roger flaked out. Look, these things happen. What? Is that not right?
That seems like a bit of a different twist to the reality of what happened, but okay.
Oh, the old reality twist. It's like a what if episode.
Yeah, fantasy, Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, looks like DS, as usual, has a comic that's not befitting the topic. Roger, as usual, has 17 comics befitting the topic, we assume, because they're all in 480p. And I'm sitting up here with some scantily clad ladies. I think it must be Monday night. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think that's an accurate representation of what goes on. I just show books. I don't ever have anything for the topics because the topic is never narrowly chosen dark golden age covers. And anything outside of that, I have nothing to show.
Hey, we try.
No, I just try to show some books that are like relevant or that I've recently picked up or just that are cool. So mine's just for like eye candy.
Absolutely. Speaking of which, Comic Bag Musings has dropped his customary $3 chat. Look at this. He says, what about comics that smell like feet? We're not even going to entertain that. If you've got smell-o-vision on your phone, you need to watch it more often. That's all I know. $2. And now we have the obligatory, sorry, Roger, for I know this one's your favorite. But there's the old gorilla oops. Oh, my goodness. There's got to be a better place to hide that banana, sir. All right. Thank you so much for your – what's the topic? Oh, what is the topic? Let's see. That wouldn't be too bad. If I could get like a New York City sewer like man cover kind of art made for the front door and put BUB'S manhole, that wouldn't be too bad. Then at least I'd have a manhole cover to go on my manhole.
That would be all right.
I could do that. Thank you so much. What's the topic? What is the topic? Roger, I know you know the topic. What's the topic, buddy?
The title or the I forgot the title, but limited editions and limited distribution comics.
Nice. And DS, what's our team name for this evening discussing said topic?
Limited editions.
Oh, you guys are 2 for 2. That's my birthday. I'm gonna go play the lotto.
Wow.
Holy moly! Yeah, this is a win,
I
everybody.
was gonna go with
Woo-hoo!
something wrong, but since he nailed the topic, I figure let me just nail the name and we'll make Bub's week. Right off.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I am shocked and amazed. Thank you.
Yeah, I
Guys.
like that Turtles one is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Super
We're
Friends
having-
too.
We're
Yeah,
having a
oh,
big
that's a
time.
good one,
Cowabunga. Woo! All right. Oh, so excited. Now I almost forgot what the topic was. Oh, right. So what we're going to be talking about this evening, as my good fine fellows discussed, we're going to have, BLC is in the house. What's up? Meow. Good to have you. He's at work, so you guys, we got to whisper. We got to whisper. All right, that's enough of that. Hope you got to keep your job. So we're going to talk about some comics in there, and the one that made me think of it was this one here. This is my dem there tick number 1. This is my first tick. Look at that. Any of you boys been to summer camp, you know what I'm talking about. There you go. The Tick.
That's a good book.
Special edition number 1. So I know that people like to believe that the black cover is the first one. At least if you go, that's why. And I know I'll get an argument from DS out of this one because he's a big market lover. And I am a big market lover as well. But sometimes the market does get it wrong. And I feel like over time, the market will correct itself. But you want to be on the right side of that history, or you want to sell when the time is right. Take your pick. But you can't have both sometimes. So
yeah, I think sometimes the market can be wrong and it will correct. And sometimes people just want it to be wrong so bad it's not.
right.
Yeah, but there occasionally it actually is wrong and it will correct within a reasonable amount of time.
So this is the Tick Special Edition number 1, limited to 5,000 copies. Let's see if that comes in this bright light we have here. This is number 4837 of those. So, and I think I even have, there's the old label that it came. I cracked it out because it was a 6.5, but it was dirty as heck and full of creases. So I cleaned it up. You know, the white covers come up pretty clean. So I cleaned it up, and I'd say it's probably now a 7.5 or so. Maybe an off chance of an 8. It's got a rough staple. But anyway, there is another copy of this book that's just called Tick number 1. And it's the first in his ongoing series, and it reprints most of this book, but it does have some changes, and it's missing some elements of the book that they thought were a little rough, so they took them out. So it's missing some parts of the book, and it's missing some parts of the story, and they changed other parts. So for that reason, that's definitely not the first appearance. This chronologically is also the first appearance of Tick in comics, of course. And so people will often mistake the other book, and that book can sell for up to $100 in mid-grade. And that's just ridiculous.
I think the white one there you have is definitely the better of the two for sure. I think it was in that newsletter, like New England Comic newsletter or something. Was it like an actual first appearance? It's not a comic book though, but there's a couple first appearances of different things in that New England Comic newsletter, something like that. New England Comic newsletter.
Yeah,
something like
I think that's right.
Yeah, but yeah, the one you have is definitely the one I would go with.
Yeah, and even above that, if I couldn't get this one, then I would go for this one, which is Special Edition number 2. And once again, this came out before number 1, chronologically, publishing wise, and is also limited edition to 3,000 copies. Let's see if you can get that in there. Man, is it bright in the old boy hole tonight?
Yeah, you got good lighting, man.
All right, 3,000 copies, and this is number 2772. So this is even more rare than that book.
So let me ask you, Bub. So that's a limited edition, but how was that distributed? Was that like a mail order or what?
This was sold directly at New England Comics, the shop.
Only at that shop?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's limited distribution and limited edition.
You could order it from them as well, though. So it wasn't just you had more access to it than just physically in the shop. You could also mail away for it.
Okay.
So, and the mail away for this one was contained inside this one. So even fewer people got this because you bought this and it had the advertisement to mail away for number 2.
Right.
So
Gotcha.
tough stuff to get your hands on. If you're a big Tick fan, this is where it's at. But again, the market says, well, the black number 2 will sell for more than this sometimes. I'm like, that's just out. That's insane.
I think sometimes people on that book, is the market wrong? See, here's the thing. Sometimes the market, you got to keep in mind this stuff is visual art, and slabbing is so crucial and displaying is so crucial that sometimes a cover will keep the quote wrong one on top of the market indefinitely just because the cover, people love black covers. I don't know that the market's ever going to change its view on this unless the Tick becomes so popular or does a movie or has some new reboot or something crazy where people are going to go crazy and they want the actual first appearance. But unless the Tick becomes some super huge property, that black cover is always going to sell good because it's a black cover anyway. So I don't know that that will flip, even though I agree with you that the wrong one is the sought after. But from an art display standpoint, people like that black cover more.
Well, I think the other thing that happens is that because this one is white and can be so easily cleaned, the black cover is harder to get in high grade.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, but that's why people are – a 9.8 of that black cover is always going to outsell this white cover.
Right.
Because of that. Yeah.
But it's not even the first appearance. But what bothers me is that you'll have eBay sellers saying it is the first appearance. So it's like, oh, man.
Well, that's why I always say do your homework. But, you know, with X-Men 266 and the X-Men Annual 14, there's a debate of which one's the first appearance. But obviously it's X-Men 266. There was a snafu in the publishing that let Annual 14 hit the shelves first, but that wasn't intentional. And yeah, technically it came out first, but it wasn't intended to be. And but the 9.8 of that Annual 14, I think, should hold really, really good value, almost equivalent to the X-Men 266. You can find an X-Men 266 and 9.8; they're all over the place. Try finding the Annual 14 and a 9.8 is a little tougher.
That's a good point.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think just the fact that it's so hard to find in high grade compared to the 266 should keep the value a little closer, although it's not. It has crept up, but it's not really – there's a huge disparity of prices there. Yeah, so I think the market's right on which one is better, but not by that big of a disparity. I think if the 14 is crucial and is a nice key and is much tougher to find in high grade. So, I don't know.
I agree. But that can influence it. But tonight we're talking about limited editions – small print runs that are known, and then also anything that had limited distribution to where you could only access it through a certain specific way that also by nature limited its availability. There's light at the end of, oh my goodness. Make that a sticker and I'll put it on my neighbor's car.
The wisdom of Bub right there. I tell you.
All right. Let's see. Metarog's got a whole plethora of books here. Why don't you share with us your plethora of books?
I do, but, you know, speaking of limited edition, I just got something in the mail. I literally got it right before the show came on. So I thought maybe you might want to see what is in here.
Oh, my. It's one of those limited distribution card sets. Let's see it.
Exactly. I haven't looked inside. He sent it to my old address in Mississippi, so it just got here today. Most people have had this for a couple of weeks.
Yes.
So I told J Hood that I'll be opening it here. So surprise.
So you have no idea what's in there?
No idea. I did break the top off, but that's it. I have no idea. So I'm going to take them out and see what's in there. How's that?
Yeah, nice. Let's check it out.
I know that there were some secret variants in there, and they have not all been discovered. So yours coming in a little later means you may have one of the used prophylactics that he inserted in just a few, and also into that envelope.
There's the famous video with the Hialeah tattoo on his back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, classique.
And then it's in the fold, but here's the interior where he tells you, please don't sue him, etc., and how to apply the tattoos. And then on the back here is the full list of all the community members that have tattoos. And over here are the variants. And I have a Metarog, which Slotted Up has actually. And he told
nice.
And he told me that he would trade it if I wanted it. So we'll see. So let's see.
Well, I love the idea of trading these. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, right. So we'll see them together here. I have them flipped over. Let's see what's first here. Bearded Comic Bro.
Bearded Comic Bro. Nice.
Yeah, very nice.
A friend of the show. Not this show, but I've seen him friends on other shows.
Next. Hero
Roger.
and the Kid, Sean.
Oh, nice.
That's the dad.
That's not the kid?
That's not the kid. And next we
Feel
got
better now.
my buddy Ryan, Magic Lasso. Cool.
Hey!
Look at that. And lastly, he's in the chat. Jason, Southern Comic Geek.
Hey, Southern Comic Geek. Nice.
So that is my set of 4. Thanks again to Jay Hood for this really incredible little gifts that he gave to the community here, and really original. Of course, these will be going up in the new Metacave whenever that comes around. But thanks again.
Are we going to have a new naming contest for the new cave?
No. DS and DS got it. DS and JD got it, and it's going to stay that way.
Can I at least submit that you should put Roman numeral 2 at the end of it?
We'll talk about that later. But
all right.
Yeah, I've never lost the contest I've entered in the YouTube community.
That's the only one you've entered.
And I won it. 100% is 100%, no matter how you cut it, Bub.
Well, if I ever have to leave this boy hole, I'm going to name the next boy hole, the Second Coming. And now we have send it to him. He'll autograph it.
Yeah.
Ranger
Jason, absolutely. Yeah.
See these on my local post office wall. Look, a bunch of wanted posters for you jokers. Ranger Slide's in the house. Speaking of wanted posters, dang, he's late again. He's on that. Where is he at? Is he in BC? Where's he at?
He's I think French Canadian. So that would be.
Isn't it all French?
No.
Oh,
no, Ontario's not.
Where are they?
Nova Scotia's not.
What are they?
Well, he's probably in Quebec, I would think, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I don't know. I thought French Canadian was just something that was across all of Canada until
that's what I thought.
Now. And then I also have no idea where the provinces are. Like if somebody's like in Quebec, I don't know if they're close to Seattle or if they're close to New York. I don't know. And sometimes I don't know if it's a city or a province. That's how
British Columbia is near Seattle.
All right. Well, to be fair, I don't think they'd be able to find us either.
Geography lesson over. Okay, so limited distribution, limited editions. Of course, this is one of my specialities. So,
if you please,
I love this topic, and I have probably dozens more than I can put up here. But everybody knows these. These are a dime a dozen for here in the Metacave. 30-cent variants. Market test variants in 6 cities, 1976. I have the full set plus the different variations. Everybody knows about that. That's old new. Okay, great. All right, this is really cool stuff here. This is hardcover edition of 2112 by John Byrne. Notice down here it has the Diamond comic and distribution logo, right?
Yeah.
Because this was only available if you were one of the retailers that attended one of their summits back in the 90s. And the really cool thing about this is that these are very limited, usually about 1,000 or so. And if you're a John Byrne fan, this is really cool because it has an extra wrap inside. Okay. Besides, it has the soft cover inside, but it has this extra wrap. And inside the fold of that extra wrap, you have a signature by none other than John Byrne himself.
Holy moly!
But all editions of this comic, of this hardcover that were distributed, are signed by him. He did that special before the summit. So I have
cool.
I have several of these Summit trade paperbacks, and they are rare and they are hard to find and good condition. And DS, you'll be proud of me. All of these are like near mintish stuff.
Nice. I like to hear that. Slapped.
No slab for me, buddy. You know that. But I love these things, though. This is interesting. This is not Diamond. This is Capital Distribution. If you guys are old enough, you remember that Diamond used to have a competitor, and Capital was the number 2 competitor there. And this is the same kind of thing. It was only given out in the Capital Summit. And this has the first 3 issues of Spawn. And it also inside, it's signed by none other than Todd McFarlane.
Ooh, that's a really nice item.
Super.
Again, I think this one is limited to 1,200. They have a little bit higher print run.
Very nice.
Roger, you're sitting on a gold mine, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I'm going to show 2 more, right? This one is also the first 5 issues of the Spider-Man, adjectiveless Spider-Man comic. Not signed by Todd McFarlane, but this one is still shrink wrapped. And when it was given out, I actually knew somebody who went there and they gave it to me.
Yeah, I've never seen that one ever before.
And again, there is a trade paperback, but notice it has the Diamond Comic Distributors logo. That's the trick, and also the red out here. So these are. I made a video of these long ago. Nobody saw them. Okay. At the same time that Marvel gave that limited distribution trade paperback, DC did this one. Same thing, only given out in the Diamond. It doesn't have the Diamond logo in it, but this compiles all these issues, including the covers. Okay, from this is 1989, I want to say. Again, limited to about 1,000. And the last one, and I'll let you guys go after this one. This baby here is rare as hen's teeth. So what happened here is that when John Byrne started the Man of Steel, inside the first issues of Superman, the series that came right after the end of the Man of Steel miniseries, there was a little send away voucher in there, right? And you had to send away, you had to put your address and your comic shop's address, okay? And if you got the raffle, if you won, you would get this, and then your comic shop would get one too. Now, I sent that in, but I didn't win, unfortunately. However, in my comic shop, they received one. And guess who now owns that comic? And if you doubt the veracity, if you look inside, there is the note included with the trade paperback when it was sent to the comic book shop. Yeah, Jackson Redkirk, note to self, check out the Metarog archives. Yeah. And this is really cool, guys, in that, again, it has the whole miniseries, including the covers. Included, everything in there is included, including the covers. It's really
is it on like newsprint type pages too?
Correct.
Yeah, so the colors are going to be legit and genuine. Yeah, that's nice.
That's beautiful.
I got this from the comic shop. So I got more stuff to show limited edition wise, but those are trade paperbacks. I got a whole bunch more of these, by the way. There's about 20 of them in total, but I'm not going to show them because they're all pretty much the same after these raffle editions.
That's fantastic. DS, you got anything to throw our way or speak on?
Well, this is a 1 of 1. This is the only edition ever owned by DS Comics.
Nice.
So that's a unique item.
And you're going to take a selfie with it later?
No, I don't take selfies with my book. Anonymity is a powerful thing, Bob. But yeah, I put it on my Instagram. This is off topic, but it's so hard to find one of these books, anything Marvel from 76 to 79, that's not miswrapped or miscut or uncentered. So I actually broke a GPA record by buying this. Sometimes I pay a lot for books, and I paid more for this than any other 9.4 on GPA ever because it was such a nicely wrapped and centered copy. It's got just the same amount of space above the banner as below the UPC on the bottom. It's perfect. The black line is right on the spine. It's such a nice looking copy. I just had to buy it. So
nice.
Yeah, I don't know. It's always cool when like different eras and different types of books. I look for different things, and for late bronze, I like a nice centered, good wrap, and tough to find, really. And when you do find one, it's just a joy to behold. So
absolutely.
And a book that has a lot of room to grow. I think a lot of the other X-Men keys have gone nuclear this year. This, admittedly, is a very big X-Men key, and it's hasn't moved in price all that much compared to a bunch of other stuff. Like X-Men 94 went up like 7 times in value in 3 weeks. This one isn't really moved a lot yet, so I figure I'll get one. So there you have it. That's it.
I agree. Very fine. Very nice.
Very nice. Yeah, you're right. That era of Marvel had a lot of centering, especially vertical centering issues. Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean,
I have some where the UPC is you can't even see the bottom of it.
Right. It cuts right across, like through the red and through the top of the stamp, or it cuts right through the UPC and up into the words on the bottom. It's tough.
Very nice. I like it. I like my well-centered bronze books.
Yeah, so my plan on this is, obviously to sell it at some point, but it's like an investment, and I do like it. It's a cool book, even though the story sucks, which I've said numerous times. It's such a letdown of the story for a single issue. Now, this run of X-Men is perhaps some of the best writing in all of comics, and art, too. But just as a single issue, this is a letdown. There's not much that happens in it. So the cover's fantastic.
You don't like people talking to each other? How could you not like that?
This is like page 1. Spoiler alert, but it's 40 years old, so whatever. This is page 1, and this is it. And all the action in the book is on the cover. That's page 1 essentially. And then the rest of the book is them standing around while she's in a coma trying to figure out what they should do. And there's some disagreement if they should seek help from a villain or not, and it causes some disagreement. And at the end, a couple people appear as a teaser for the next issue. Kind of a lame issue. It's sort of a in-betweener issue in the long story arc, but a big X-Men key that really is undervalued compared to everything else. So yeah, this is a good time to get one. So I'll probably hold this until it at least doubles in value, which shouldn't be too long the way things are going. So anyway.
True.
Well, we'll shift gears just ever so slightly. Some of Neil Adams' finest work. I know what you guys are expecting. A little bit of Batman, maybe. A little bit of Superman, perhaps.
Mr. T.
Boom!
Holy cow, I can't believe I got it.
Look at that. Mr. T and who? The T-Force.
Yeah.
And, this, like Rogers, is a retailer edition.
Cool.
This was sent to the shops. Cool. It's number 9,724 out of 10,000. I wonder if everyone's M&T looked this good. Because my guess is when you got somewhere closer about 2,000, that stopped looking very good and started looking more like this. So I'd love to see some of the early ones. If anybody knows of a place where I could at least look at an earlier numbered one, I'd like to see how much it changed. Of course, It has sorry about all the nuclear white here, but I will not apologize fully. So it's got all the good stuff there. And, like Roger was talking about, it's got a poster and all kinds of good stuff. So, and of course, the issue of the comic and a letter assuring you that Mr. T is fully behind this, and you have the marketability and marketing power of Mr. T behind every comic. So good luck.
And that's Mr. T cover, and it's Mr. T art all the way through. And the art is really good. I had a copy, or might still have it. It's the art inside's really good. It's him all the way through, I think.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah. Neil Adams does the whole book cover to cover.
It's good stuff, actually.
Very good stuff.
Yeah, that's cool in that you get a whole kit there. The retailer gets a whole kit.
Yeah,
including poster. You get promotional material, things like that. Yeah, it's good stuff.
And we have also, I was going to show while we're at it. You guys know I collect some of those low print run cave lady type books, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what's wrong with you, Roger? What happened?
Lots.
But as I was looking through them, I have lots that are 450, 500, 650, and 750. But I didn't have very many that were below 450 in print run. So I came across 3 that were below that. So this one's by, I think, Connie Valentina. Or doesn't even say, but I think that's who did this one. This one's 350 there. So very beautiful cover. And Mike put the grandkids to bed. This one is
he's like, yeah, Bob Boo books. That's what I'm here for.
This one is from Andrew Mangum, and this one is also 350 copies. There, the excessive drool. Look at the detail in that drool. All right, it's enough of that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like the blue Sharpie all over the front, but yeah, cool book.
Well, I was thinking of writing members only. I've had a few people contact me and say that they want a tapeless edition added to my channel for membership, and I didn't really know what this membership was. I heard some people talk about it. I noticed it on other channels, but I've never clicked the button because it sounded like it was going to cost money. So I don't click it. But people were telling me, hey, you should have a tapeless comics displays going on, little videos of all my extra special comics in the membership area. So I'm thinking if I do that, then I'll start writing on the tape members only. And then that'll give people the idea.
There you go.
So there's another one.
Oh, man, we're missing out.
This one is by Katia Fantini, 350 copies. Look at that cat. Wow. Oh no, we're getting shut down. Oh, wait, here we are. Oh, look, the light has corrected itself. Look at that. It couldn't stay. That's really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like she's got pretty big hair, too. So.
She does. Look at it waving in the wind.
DS is going over to the dark side now.
Big and bouncy, that hair, yeah.
Jambo said he didn't have that first one. Let's see. Could be a Patreon bonus. I like Patreon. I appreciate that, Sly. And I don't knock anybody that does anything. But I hear all the time that people are like, don't give YouTube your money. Give it through Patreon so I get more of it. And when they have these like donation shows, they're always like, put it in the Patreon so that we get all the money to the family or to whoever. And I'm the kind of, I guess I'm a little bit of a company man sometimes. And I'm like, you know what? I have a YouTube channel and I should be supporting YouTube's development and YouTube's success. Otherwise, I don't have a place to have my channel, right? So I don't mind to give YouTube their due, pay my tax to YouTube because I'm getting something for it.
Yeah,
so
that logic is sound. That's the same PayPal logic I have. Everybody bitches about PayPal because they just want to use it for free. Like, PayPal's not in business to be a charity for people to do free money transfers. I do goods and services. Yeah, it's 3%. It's 3% for a service that is 100% reliable. I use all the time. It's well worth it to me. This stuff's not for free. Yeah, exactly. So I'm with you on that.
All right, well, cool. Well, I'll leave this one up for everybody. I have another large set to go through.
Oh, boy.
You see what happened there?
Oh, boy.
All right. So, Roger, let's see what other tantalizing what do you got for us?
All right. So, limited editions, because they are a sort of variant of the regular edition, right? So that's what this set here is. These were only available in two ways. You either could buy. Is that too much glare there?
Don't apologize, Roger. Stay strong.
I'm not apologizing. I'm just inquiring. Okay. So you could either find these through the X-Men Adventure game. Included in the game was a copy of one of these 4 issues, or you could send away a coupon and get back one of the issues. So the 4 issues in the set are X-Men 307, and notice the color scheme is different. I think the regular one is yellow. This is gold.
Okay.
X-Men 303. Notice there's no UPC here.
So wait, I'm confused. This was a send away or not?
It was either a send away or included in the game. It was a game called X-Men Adventure, a board game.
Okay.
So you could get it one of 2 ways. The send away coupon was in the game, so you could get one in the game, randomly. But if not, you could send away the coupon and get a copy of.
I got you. Okay.
And that's the second one. This is the rarest one, X-Men 297.
Now, how do you know it's the rarest?
Well, by experience, really anecdotal stuff.
Okay.
Now I've seen a lot of the other ones and not so many of this ones. Yeah. The way you can tell this one is that the color scheme is reversed. Song's End is gold in the regular, and there's red where the gold is on this cover.
Wow. See, there could be a few of these floating around bins. Now, that one I've seen before, and I know that one is highly collectible.
Correct. This is the only adjectiveless X-Men title in the run, and has the silver instead of the gold.
Yeah, that's when there's some of these random books, Roger, I keep an eye out for all the time, and I always keep an eye out for that one with the silver, and I've yet to come across one. I see occasionally somebody will post it or own one, or there's one on eBay, but contrary to popular belief, I do sometimes hunt in the wild, and there are things that are much more fun to find in the wild than to just buy on eBay. And that is one that I want to find in the wild. Same with that Wolverine Nabisco variant. I want to find one in the wild. I don't want to pay up and just buy one on eBay. I want to find in the wild because there's so much cooler to find in the wild.
I agree. And I have found all of these in the wild. So
yeah, I know, it's impressive.
Wow.
None of these, of course, they were many years ago, but I did find them in the wild. Okay, now limited. That was limited edition. This is limited distribution.
Okay.
Because what happened here is that in two cities that I know of, Austin, Texas, and Kansas City, Kansas, DC did sort of a primer of this issue. They wanted to give it more exposure. So instead of the 60 cents regular price, they knocked it down to 35 cents.
Wow. There's no better way to convey quality than half price.
Half price. Well, almost half price.
Almost. Even better.
And there's only two of these, issue number 1 and, of course, issue number 2. Notice the 35 cents.
Yeah, I used to have both of those, and I don't recall. I didn't know at the time that that existed. I probably did not have the 35-cent ones, though. But I did have both of those books at one point.
Cool. Yeah, they're not quite as tough to find as a lot of others, but if in the wild, unless you live in those regions, I've heard that they're pretty tough to find. Yeah,
I bought a lot. This was probably like 4 years ago. I bought a collection from a small music store where the owner had passed and his wife was selling off his stuff. Mm-hmm. They had a small amount of comics, and I just bought them all. And he had 2 high-grade copies of that in there. And I don't know, I ended up selling them at some point, but.
Cool. Well, at least you had them.
Yeah, they were cool.
Most people haven't. All right, so this is interesting. This is actually a test logo. Not the price is the same, but they put the Superman logo here to see if it appealed more to kids instead of the DC Bullet. And I think there was only 2 distribution areas, one in California and one in the Midwest somewhere. So it was it's a whole different cover too. The regular cover is white and has a different characters on there. Justice League 3 and Firestorm 61. Those are the only 2 issues that this logo here is on. It was never used in anything else.
When I hunt a big row of DC books, I look for that logo, which I learned, of course, from your channel. And I always pay attention to that corner. And I just feel like someday I'm going to find one or both of those books.
Right.
I just had that feeling, because it's such a forgettable issue otherwise.
Correct. There's nothing key about it. It's sort of a run-of-the-mill issue. But it is rarer because it was only distributed in those, I think, those 2 areas. I don't remember now if maybe there was a third. But certainly it's a very limited distribution. That's what we're talking about.
Yep. Love it.
Yeah, it definitely counts. That's good stuff.
Here's one that interestingly enough, it looks like the regular issue of X-Men number 60 from the Silver Age. It is not. This is one of the 1993 Marvel Vintage Packs, colloquially known as JCPenney variants.
Yes.
It had the weirdest way of choosing which books they were going to do reprints of.
Very weird.
No reason for the issues they picked. I still can never figure it out.
Totally loco colocals.
Yeah. Now, Buck, you have this issue, And I noticed that the color scheme is different on the wings than the regular issue. That's the only way to tell that I know.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to check that.
Yeah, those J.C. Penney reprints have caused nothing but trouble for eBay buyers. I'll tell you, because you cannot tell if you're looking on eBay whether it's the real one or the reprint, and it's not like they reprinted a similar collection or run of books where you're like, oh, maybe it's just haphazard. So unless you know, it's like, you know, the X-Men 27 or that one or the other ones they did, like they look exactly the same. There's nothing on the cover to tell you any of
there's just subtle color differences that you have to look for, but it's like you said, online it's very tough to tell.
Yep.
I was able to ferret out these two online, but again, it took a while for me to find these puppies.
Some of them still go for some decent money, though. I mean, I've been at shows where they were selling what's the first Black Panther? Is it 51 or
52?
52. So I've seen Fantastic Four 52 go for sale for like $7,500 as the JCPenney reprint. So
that's not a JCPenney reprint. That's the 2006 reprint. But the front cover is exactly the same.
Oh, really?
In high grade have become more accepted as legit things to own in high grade, and especially if they look like the original, like an Action Comics 1 reprint that doesn't have that little DC stamp over the guy running, or the JCPenney reprints. People want, if they get a reprint, they want one that looks legit. So I see those going for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, these are two. One is the JCPenney reprint. One is the direct edition. Which is which?
The Spidey face is the reprint.
Nope, this one.
The Spidey face is the original.
How
you can tell
the box on the JCPenney one? What is in that box?
There's one easy way to tell. If it has a direct edition kind of logo, but it has the Curtis circulation in the price area, the Curtis circulation is only a newsstand. That's only on newsstand issues, because if direct distribution doesn't go through Curtis. So that's how you can tell that it's a JCPenney or Sears reprint.
And why? And enlighten us as to why they chose to reprint this issue.
I can't enlighten you because, as you said before, and you're very, very correct.
Like,
there is just
who chooses this issue to reprint? Like, why?
I always assumed that there was some clothing that went along with it, like a licensed Captain America T-shirt was hanging up beside, and they just said, "We'll need a Captain America issue." They said, "All right, here you go."
I don't know. It could have almost.
So you have a nice smoking jacket next to the issue.
Yeah, I guess.
And you have a nice evening dress for the lady.
Exactly. That's all.
That's one of the worst covers in that run too.
Yep.
Like,
now this one I can see why.
Yeah, that one's decent. Yeah,
that one I can see why. Frank Miller first. I think this is the first meeting between Cap and Punisher. I can see why, but again, notice that the Spidey does not have anything up here, and notice it has the Curtis circulation part up here.
Yes, I noticed it. Did you, DS?
Well, I will next time. I'll tell you that.
You guys are too much.
I don't buy raw X-Men 28 on eBay at all.
Okay, hold on. They want me to bring it closer, so here I'll bring it closer.
Oh, hold on. Let me. There you go.
Sorry about that. Again, you can see the logos are different. This one, all the JCPenney's have either this swinging Spidey or they don't have anything like those X-Men, because in that era there were no UPCs previous to 1976, right? So that's it. And then up here in the in the price logo, this one has. It should have like a Canadian price, which it does here, and a UK price. But here it has those two, and it does not have the UK price, but it has this Curtis circulation number here. So,
wow.
Again, it's very, very picayune stuff, but it's how you can tell the difference.
The old picayune stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're tricky.
They're tricky for sure.
What's going on, DS? What you got over there? Holy moly, look at that.
All right, so this is a rare book, and I'll explain why. It's something I've been looking for years. don't have anything limited edition, but this is limited availability of this book that is nicely centered, nicely wrapped in a 9.0 or better with off-white or better pages. Amazingly hard to find. Yeah, right, exactly. But no, to find a good-looking copy of this in a 9.0 up with not creamed off-white pages is really tough to find. So I finally was able to find one here, 9.2 off-white to white, and it presents great. I like this one. This is probably my second favorite Surfer cover ever after Silver Surfer 4, and my favorite Kirby Dot cover ever.
Yeah, I can see that. It's about 90% Kirby Dots.
I know. It's that deep red with it too, and it's got the Watcher in the background, and I think people are calling Kirby Dots something different now, but
Kirby Crackle is what I keep hearing.
Oh yeah, but man, they were always just called Kirby Dots. It was like Kirby Dots. I don't know what this Kirby Crackle came from.
Well, I think
they love the alliteration,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, who doesn't at Marvel?
But that's what it is. This is the best cover for that, and it's just a stunning cover anyway. That dark red, and it's just tough to find a nice copy of this. There you go. Yeah, so this is a tough book to find. I think people realize that who are looking for this, which is why I had to pay up for this. It's not cheap when you find a copy like this, but that's why. So yeah, I'm pretty happy to get that one.
As well, you should be, sir.
Absolutely. I got that from Man Cave, so I love that issue. I read it too. It's a really good read.
Well, you and half the ladies at the health department can say that every weekend.
I had a raw copy of this that was probably like a 7.5. It was pretty nice, and I sold it. And it had a date stamp on the board on the edge.
Yeah, I wanted that copy so bad from you.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
Remember when I had that? I had a picture somewhere, but the date stamp was lined up. It looked like it was stamped literally on the board in the art.
It was fantastic. It was the best copy of that book I've ever seen.
It was cool. Yeah, I probably should have kept that too, but I was like, I can't keep everything, and that was not like such a perfect copy to keep. But in retrospect, I might have.
Well, the red wasn't there.
No, it wasn't looking otherwise, but it had that date stamp. I've never seen a date stamp that was almost like integrated into the art in such a perfect way. It was like lined up right there on the board perfectly.
Good stuff.
Cool.
That was cool.
Good stuff. All right, I'll show one more round here, or a couple of rounds. We have this is the first book that I ever picked up out of I guess probably a dollar bin or so, and it was the first time I had a certificate. So I was like, I couldn't believe it. I thought I really got something here. So Tomb Raider Sphere of Influence #1, and of course it's got that pretty gold foil. And I read on the back, Dynamic Forces has issued this certificate to authenticate this copy of Tomb Raider Sphere of Influence, Dynamic Forces exclusive cover B gold foil as one of a specially limited series of 400.
Yeah,
and
not bad.
Number 174. So at one time, this was the rarest book in my collection, or the lowest print run in my collection. It was the first time I ever had one, and I was like, wow, that's a low print run. Like, that's very few books. Then, as you know, Dynamic Forces likes to play these games. So here's issue number 5 of Tomb Raider. That's the limited Dan Jurgens cover, and it's signed by old Danny J there. And this one says Dynamic Forces has issued this certificate to authenticate this copy of Tomb Raider 5 DF exclusive cover as one of a special limited series signed by Dan Jurgens. You have no idea how many of these are out there. It's a special limited series. # take our word for it. And that's it. So and you get the little seal there, this is definitely the original Mylar it came in. So you guys can trust that seal. Yeah, right. Those things came in some nasty. I mean, by the time they got about 5 years old, they were hard plastic and cracking. They were rough. This one is double signed. So this one is Tomb Raider number 4, and it's also numbered. I like it when they number them. That's probably my favorite thing.
Yeah, it's got to be numbered for sure.
424 out of 1,500. And this one is Tomb Raider 4 Forever, specially limited series of 1,500 copies, signed by Jay Lee. But it has 2 signatures on there. One up here and one down here. That's Jay Lee's signature because I have it on other books. And this is Sibal. It's like the 3rd name listed here. I don't know what that person did. Maybe it was an inker or something. But there you go. So it actually has a second signature that someone must have got after the fact. So that's interesting. Here's another Tomb Raider number 2. We'll go a little quicker through these. This one's 5,000, numbered $26.95. But the numbering isn't on the book. It's only on the certificate. So I find that to be less, complete, because the number is not anywhere to be found in the book, front, back, or inside. This one I love. Tomb Raider 0. They love to do their 0 copies. And this one is number 1951 out of 5,000. So a bigger number, but you actually see this book quite a bit for there to only be 5,000 circling around. I find that, fascinating. So this one is a 1/2. You guys know Dynamic Forces. And here's another one of those BS. It says Tomb Raider 1/2 was available only through a special offer. So this is limited distribution. In Wizard, the magazine's number 106. Each copy is part of a limited edition, which has distributed in a special Wizard World protective holder, which is now, for stunk, with a copy of this certificate, this exact certificate. But we have no idea what number it is and how many they made. They just, every time you sent in a coupon, you got another one. And this one, Michael Lopez knocking it out of the park. I mean, he knocks it twice. It's got some big knockers. And there you go. This one again, number 106, limited edition, and they don't tell you anything more than that. So there you go. There's my Tomb Raider fun. Hey, wait, think of them. They're apples.
You had to send away the coupon inside the Wizard to get those halves. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you, Bub, when it's like a limited edition of 1,500, I know some collectors like to have their copy be low in that 1,500, but does it matter like which one it is as long as you have one? I mean, some people like this is the 10th out of 1,500, so it's better than the 2,000. Does it matter to you?
Well, I'm not going to say it's a strict rule per book, but a strict rule overall where I'd rather have a low number versus a high number. I just want a nice number. So if it's a number that I like, I like number 7, I like number 52. So if I had a book that was number 52 out of 5,000, that'd be awesome. If I had a number 52 out of 100, that'd still be awesome, even though that's on the second half of the scale, right?
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
So it doesn't really matter if I like the number. The other thing is if it's going to be a James Bond book, well, I want a 007 on there somewhere, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I don't care if there's 5 million of these things. If it's numbered and it's got a 007 somewhere in there together, then that's going to win for me.
Yeah, that's good.
Then also any signed books, I think the earlier ones look better. So if you're going to get, like poor Mr. T signing 10,000 books, I bet the first 100 of those look a hell of a lot better than the last 100. He's got to be exhausted by the last 100. The ink and the stamps running dry.
It's just a smudge at that point. Yeah.
Yeah. So, those are the kind of things that I look for in the numbers. I look for a cool number or whatever I would consider that to be, or a number that matches the subject matter, or if it's a signature or low number. So that's where I'm at on those. Great question, DS. What a co-host. Round of applause for DS Comics.
Well, thank you. I always wondered that because some people always they show it and they're like, and this is number 7 out of 5,000. And, when there's a limited run, I feel like that is the value, is the fact that they're just all scarce because it's limited. And, I've had a couple. I had that first Flaming Carrot, which had, 3,000 copies or something. What was it? I can't remember the name of it. The black and white magazine.
Yeah.
I just sold it like a few months ago.
It'll come to me probably after the show.
Yeah, I can't remember. But anyway, inside it had the signatures and it had the numbering. And the one I had was like, I don't know, it was like 513 out of 1,500 or whatever it was.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, when I sold it, a couple people inquired. They're like, "What one is that?" They wanted to know how low in the run it was, and I was
Visions.
Yes, Visions.
Right. Yes.
And so people were asking me like, "Which one is it?" So I ended up posting pictures of it because it seemed to be a critical fact when I was selling that. People wanted to know which one was this in the run, and to me, I didn't even know that was really that big of a deal, but people wanted to know, and I think the guy who bought it wanted to know, but didn't really care when I told him. But yeah, so I don't know.
That's cool. Look at this. Gonna get that look now. Yeah, he was gonna give Diaz money to open his Frazetta book, but now he can't because I wanted to go shop for comics. Shame on me.
Every time we talk about something tangentially related, although this is pretty closely related to that Frazetta thing, he always asks me if I've opened it yet. It's still sealed, and that is a rare edition. I think there were only a couple, 2,000 or something that were made. Leather bound, slip case. It's got some original Frazetta art in it, like first time published Frazetta art. Yeah, I have not opened it. It's for sale, but it's not the type of thing that I'm like pushing to sell. Like I'm fine owning it. I like owning it. It's cool as hell to own, and it's super rare. I mean, the seal and the book, everything, it's mint condition. And it's probably the only, I dare say it's one of only a couple that are still sealed in that condition out there in the world. And so, yeah, I'm happy to own it. I like owning it. I have no desire to bust that seal because once you do that, you can't get it back on. And yeah, I don't know. It's for sale, and it will take a while, and the right collector will have to come along to get it from me. And in the meantime, I'm happy to hold it because it's a really cool item. But yeah, every time I look at it, I'm like, man, I could crack that open. But I know the excitement of looking through that and enjoying it will be phenomenal, and I will never get that excitement back, and I'll also never get another sealed copy of that. So there's a debate. Every time I look at it, what should I do? And so for now, I haven't done anything.
Absolutely not. Yeah, I don't think that's coming back anytime soon if you ever get rid of it.
No, I mean, I've got that fantasy
in the wind
too. That fantasy first. It's got all the early Marvel Silver Age first appearance reprints in that nice. I think it's a leather bound slipcase thing, and that's sealed too. That one I would crack open because I don't feel like it's as special, but it's also not as special to crack open and look at either. Because I mean, what, I'm gonna bust open a sealed fantasy first to read AF-15 and a TOS 39 and a Hulk 1? Like, what? Yeah, I could do that without cracking.
I don't think anything's going to be as special as Frazetta's work.
No, and there's some previously unpublished Frazetta art in there, and I don't know what it is. I've tried to research so I could find it, and I can't. And I don't know if it was published out, so I don't know what the previously unpublished Frazetta art in there is. I don't know what it is. That's the thing that's most, tempting, is to see that, but I haven't. So, yeah, I don't know. But here's a nice Iron Fist I picked up because of the broken case discount.
Oh, the old rare broken case. I like that.
Yeah, the rare
broken edition crack case design.
But this thing, so I got a little discount on it because of that. But otherwise, it's a really nice looking copy. And since it needs a new case, I probably will CPR this, even though these days CPR is no guarantee from CGC. I'll tell you that. They have been, I mean, it's a crapshoot on CPRs these days. So I've stopped doing CPRs for now because it's just not as reliable as it used to be for some reason. Maybe just the books I'm doing, whatever. But this one's really nice, and it's a little dirty, and it has a couple pressable things. So I don't see this dropping below a 9 no matter what. So I'm going to CPR this, but I got a little discount on it, and maybe I can get it up to a 9.2 or 9.4. That'd be awesome.
It's my feeling, and I'm sure Roger will be quick to tell us this is a topic for another day, but it's my feeling that CGC is now recognizing pressed books as the standard condition for that grade. And so if you have, say, a 9.0 and it's got a couple of dings, nothing color breaking, And previously, that's why it was a 9.0 and not higher. And all you do is press it. Now, I think if you still do cleaning and remove any kind of soiling or stain or anything like that, you're still going to see a grade bump. But if all you do is press a book and send it in, you're likely to get the same grade. And that's just what it seems like right now, because no one is, I don't know. It's like they're seeing so many pressed books now. It's just the thing you do. You can't flip through an Instagram feed without seeing some amateur, near amateur, or supposed professional presser out there offering to do your work. It's just everywhere. And I think they're seeing so many pressed books as a standard that you press a book before you get it graded now, that's the new standard for that grade. I don't know. It seems.
Yeah, I don't know if I fully buy into that theory, but
well, it was nice having DS on the stream. We miss him, but now there he is.
No, I'll say on Pressbook, look, there's some people that think CGC can't tell that a book's been pressed. Okay. Sometimes you can't tell when a book's been pressed, and sometimes you definitely can. When you start pressing books yourself, you start to notice after a book is pressed, it looks better, but in certain places you can tell it was pressed, like where the staples are, or just certain things you can tell if a book's been pressed. And sometimes the wrinkles don't come out, or the color breaks are still there, but now the paper's flat. That's a clear sign it's been pressed. Or the paper right over the staple is completely straight, like a razor going across it, where normally it would have a little slight bend, minute, but there, and now it's razor sharp, clean across where the staples are. And you can tell sometimes when a book's been pressed. Not always, but a book like this, I feel like it's going to grade based on the defects, and a color break's a color break. And if you press out non-color breaking stuff, it should bump the grade. But this has, this has one small, tiny, like half tick and a little bit of a rounded corner. Those aren't fixable, but it's a little dirty and it's got a slight wave on the top. So yeah, I think a press will bump this. I don't know. The higher up you go in grade, the less reliable the grading is from CGC, and people complain about it. It's not that CGC doesn't know what they're doing. It's just the differences between a 9.6 and a 9.8 are so minute that if you send it in 100 times, it could be 50-50. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean CGC doesn't know what they're doing. It's just you're looking at such minute differences. But look, I send in Golden Age stuff all the time, and the grades always come back accurately. I mean, 6.0 is a 6.0, a 3.5 is a 3.5. It's, their grading's accurate. But this ultra high 9.8 chase game that people are playing leads them to think CGC doesn't know what they're doing. When they're getting a 9.8, there's no way this should got a 9.8. Or this is a 9.6. This should have definitely been a 9.8. I mean, the differences are so minute at that level. Like, all these amateurs don't know what the hell they're doing, and they're blaming CGC, and they're trying to play a 9.8 chase game. I don't do that. This is a 9.0. I feel like it will never be lower than a 9.0 after I press it, and it could possibly go up. So I think it's worth CPRing. But there's been some stuff I've CPR'd in 9.0 last time I did it, and it came back in 8.5, and I thought I bumped it to like a 9.2. So, yeah, I don't know. Nothing's 100%, but, it's worth a shot.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. And I think the idea that CGC, that grading, the difference between grading a 9.6 and a 9.8 and CGC not knowing what the hell they're doing are mutually exclusive points. And they could both be true at the same time without having any causality between them. So, there's that.
Yeah.
So, look at this. Found this one while we were all playing in the wings here. This one is 58. I remember liking the number on it.
Oh, that's that John Tyler Christopher thing?
Yeah, 58 of 2000, and it's the Strike Force variant. And talk about pressable defects. Oh, man. So look at that dent. You can see it.
Yeah.
See the case. Nothing color breaking, but tons of dents on it. And then there's a crease, right? You see that?
Oh, yeah.
Right across. I mean, this thing is that's a 9.6 all day. Maybe a 9.8 if the grader had a good morning. Yep.
You should be able to bump that for sure. Those books are tough, though. Like, when I do Golden Age books, I don't wear gloves. I just wash my hands, and I handle them rough. I throw them around the room. They're robust and rugged. You can't mess up a Golden Age book. That paper is like, an inch thick anyway. When I get something like that, you got to wear gloves. You got to be super careful because it's already high grade, and it's just like you doing.
And you can spot a fingerprint a mile away on these things.
Yeah, so those are tougher to press and work with than Fragile Golden Age books, because Fragile Golden Age books, I'll tell you, man, they are robust. The paper and the staple, I mean, this stuff's rugged, and you can drop a Golden Age 3.5 from 5 feet up, and it's still a 3.5.
Well, I know I've dropped a couple of 0.5s, and they stay 0.5s. I don't know if that's the same thing though. Roger, what do you got?
You drop a 9.6, you get down to an 8.5. You know what I mean?
Earlier, DS was throwing his voice over at Roger's house. I fell asleep at the wheel over here. All right, Metarog, what do you got there? Show us what you got.
My last array of issues here. This is interesting. This is actually one of those advanced copies that was sent to comic book shops before the actual product would come out, and it's actually the first chapter of this trade paperback, Birth of the Demon. And notice over here it says special promotional copy, not for sale. So again, this is limited to only however many shops were around at that point, at most.
That's nice. I like when things say not for sale. I used to get a kick out of that. Like,
yeah, right.
Legally.
And people sell them all over the place, though. Yeah. This is, again, limited distribution because these were not sold on newsstands. These are the modern comics counterparts to Charlton.
I can't see that very well. Does that title say Hoosier Wang? I think I've been there. Is that a house of ill repute in Indiana?
No, it's house is the family of Wang, of Yang here.
What?
House of Yang. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So these were only available in these poly bags, and not sold through comic book stores. If you can, I don't know if you can see that, but it says Walgreens there, which was a drugstore. Well, it still is a drugstore. But they used to sell comics. They used to have those little hooks, and they would have these. They would have the Whitmans, etc. And I have 2 poly bags of that.
Are those the original poly bag?
Painted cover.
Yeah,
it's a cool painted cover on that.
Yeah, that's San Ho Kim, I think.
It's almost like a watercolor or something.
It is. I think that's exactly what it is, actually. Yeah, I think that very cool. Of course. DS, of course, observant as always.
I do my best, Roger.
This
the human fly.
Human. No, this is the fly, not human fly. Okay.
Is he not human?
Well, maybe he is, but the name is not human fly, right? This is an Archie adventure series. Most of these are 12 centers, but I'm not exactly sure, but I think these were Canadian editions. So
sure, blame it on them. Blame it on them.
Well, because the Canadian dollar was not as strong as the American at this point in the 60s. So they had to raise the price for it to be commensurate. So that is, I believe, why this is a 15 cent. So it's limited in the sense that Canadian editions had a much smaller print run, probably somewhere in the 10 to 15% of the of USA. Okay, but it's not really a price variant. It's really more of a Canadian edition with the price being adjusted for their country's specific dollar change. Okay?
Right.
And these are the aforementioned Whitman editions that were available in the 3-packs. Same thing as the modern comics things, but there were a whole bunch more of these, right? All throughout the line in 1978 through 1980 something, 1 or 2, I don't remember exactly. So again, you can tell by the Whitman logo up here and the strike through here. Okay. And then finally, we have this little oddball here.
I think I like it.
Is that an IW?
It is an IW. That's correct.
Oh, those bastards.
And that's actually a very good way of describing them, because these were actually all reprints except for 3, which I did a video upon some months back. But these were these were unauthorized reprints. They did not have the legal authority to reprint these. So what they did is they did not distribute them through the newsstand, but through alternate channels like drugstores, grocery stores, things like that. And they would put a different cover and a different title. So, but all the insides are unauthorized reprints.
Yeah, and I think I heard also, I've had a few of these before. I think part of how he got around the copyright violation of doing this was that he sold them in like 2 or 3 packs together.
Correct.
And that way, if it wasn't a single one being sold, it didn't count as selling. It wasn't a copyright violation. So he would pack a couple together and then sell them together as a package at a drugstore, and that way he could rip off all the Golden Age stuff and put out and just reprint it and make money off it. I don't know if that ever led to any changes in copyrights or how. I'm sure he got sued. I don't really dig that deep into it, but they do have covers.
He did 2 different print runs, one in 1958 and one in 1963. And the reason behind that is that he had to wait till things cooled off because he did get cease and desist letters. But so he changed the logo from Super Comics to IW, and so that they wouldn't be none the wiser. What happened is that he didn't choose. He chose companies that were defunct or no longer were publishing that character.
Right, not active.
But he made one mistake. He published by mistake a Marvel funny animal comic because he didn't know that it was a Marvel property, and they caught on to it, and that led to the whole line being suspended in 1963, I do believe. So again, just limited distribution because of the way that they had to hide the unauthorized reprints of what's inside. So I thought that's a really interesting story. Again,
dirty pool. Dirty pool that guy was up to.
Very dirty pool. Very dirty pool. But he's not the only one who did that, by the way. But yeah, he
got caught.
Well, apparently he got caught because again, in 1963 they just went away. No, never to be seen again. Now he did start another company, Skywald, with Saul Brodsky, but those were legit. They were kind of rip-off characters, but they were original characters.
Nice. Wasn't Saul Brodsky a gangster in Batman? In the Batman series?
Who? Saul Brodsky?
Yeah. That I know of.
Saul Brodsky's an artist. What are you talking about?
You got me on that one.
He was in Batman, the animated series movie, Mask of the Phantasm. And Saul Brodsky was like the old man that was half dead or whatever and gets scared out of his wits by the phantasm. You're welcome.
I don't know about all that. I know Saul Brodsky was a good early, like timely Atlas Marvel artist, and he was on the cover of one of those Marvel Age comics.
Yes, I have it too. When he passed away. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Chucky Saul is what I'm being told. Oh, my mistake. Hey, I was super close.
You got the Saul part, at least, right? Yeah.
Oh, well, I give up. All right. Well, listen, I would love to say that I've had a great time having you all on here this evening. So I will. I had a great time having you all on here this evening. Thank you again for joining us and for joining me and for just making a fantastic Monday evening, as always. So you guys rock. Let's ask. Well, I tell you what, I'm feeling. I still got plenty of energy. We could probably go for another. It's almost 10 o'clock. We could probably go for another maybe 15 or oh no. Oh my! I think this is for Roger. Roger, Liz is here. Yeah. All right. Time to go. We'll let Roger park the dog. Roger, what have you got coming up on your channel and/or other channels under which you'll be gracing?
Actually, I don't. I'm not going to be in the next Raiders Notes because I'm going to be visiting my mom for her birthday. So.
Oh, you think a lot of yourself, huh?
I do. Yeah.
All right, Mom. Son,
hey, Mom, I'm coming over.
What did you get me for my birthday, son? Me,
her
Mom.
Birthday. For her birthday, not my birthday. For her birthday. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
But on Thursday, I will have a video coming out I'm going to be doing all the Secret Wars, the Secret Wars 2 crossovers and sort of quasi crossovers, and reading order, so that you know when you're reading your Secret Wars which comics to read when.
Okay. And a spoiler, it's not the next one. It's not.
Yeah. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it
You
isn't.
can't just go through the numbers, all right? You can watch this video or you'll be lost. Oh, man. Well, that sounds fantastic. DS, have you got any great content coming on your channel, or are you bringing the content to somebody else's channel? I'm
hearing a little echo. I hope it's not mine. But
I don't know.
Okay, sounds good now. So I'm going to be starting a new show on Tales from the Flip Side YouTube channel on Thursday nights. It doesn't start this Thursday, but it will be coming soon to a Thursday near you. I don't know. I know those guys. I've been on their shows before, and they want to have some Golden Age type market type content, and so I agreed to do a show with John Z, who's from that channel, and I think we're going to talk about mainly like just the comic market and investing in comics and Golden Age comics and just the stuff that me and him are into, and we'll probably have guests on there, and I think it's just sort of open-ended however we want to do it, but that sounds like they want to do a show just on the stuff that I'm sort of into, which is just like investing in comics and Golden Age stuff. So yeah, that should be fun. Keep an eye out for that. And then, of course, on Comic Core, I already have the well-established Golden Guys show Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. As far as my own channel, I don't have time to do anything right now. I got too much stuff going on. So a couple things on some other channels. So probably I'll end up having 3 shows a week on other channels, and that's enough content for me that I can fit in. So there you go.
Well, that sounds good. We appreciate that. We're looking forward to that. You're going to have to at some point drop a link maybe in the description or whatever, and like leave a comment on this video so it's always there with the link to that other channel. That way people can, if you watch this far, made it to the end, you can find DS on a Thursday near you. I don't know about you, but they're always, every Thursday is at least or at most 7 days away from me. So they're an imminent approach, as they say. Thank you, Agu, for the support. We appreciate you. C. Woodard showed up here dragging knuckles at the last minute, so glad to have you. And everyone else who snuck in here, Macedon's in here, all you guys, Cantonese comic kids sneaking in and running around. Remy Q's in the house. Thank you all for being here. And, of course, all those that were here all along. Everybody else catch on the replay. What was I don't have any. What do I have coming up? I got more comics than I can do videos on. So I've been picking up a lot lately. Also picking up a bunch of records and other stuff. So I hope the 47 of you that are watching and listening to those Power records are really enjoying it. Yes. The only thing I can say is so far I don't notice. The last one got a thumbs down. It's like, really? Come on, just don't listen. But whatever. I really haven't noticed any loss of subscribership. So at least my subscribers are tolerating the record videos where you get to listen to the old Power records. But if you haven't given one a shot, I recommend you give one a shot. It's good old classic fun, and there's really you can beat it even if you try just a little. But they're short videos. They're like 10 or 12 minutes, and you don't have to listen to me or see me. So it's kind of my gift to the YouTube annals of history, that I could jam pack those annals just as full and as deep as I can with some rich comic knowledge and history. So what do you guys think? It's worth it, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I like it. You don't see that anywhere else, so I like it.
We'll fit it in any way we can. And more comic halls and some other type things. I need to do a room tour real quick. So I may do that. Yeah, I love watching Bub's channel when I can't see or hear him. So here you guys did not see me on Mondays. You did not hear me or see me over the weekend. You guys are so lucky. So I may do the old tour of the old boy hole, but I may let Jambo do it with me or something. If he shows up early enough on Saturday, we'll do a quick tour of the room. I'll try and get it dusted by then. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot going on, just comic halls and such. And I still may do the membership channel thing because I just got another package in the mail this week, and I really, truly cannot show it on YouTube. Like, I just can't show it. Like, it's just, I would take a whole roll of tape. There'd be nothing showing but a UPC by the time I was done with this book. So what do you do with that? Like, it's too much for Instagram. It's too much for YouTube. So I think a nice little members only lounge would be a nice way to get that content out. And then I can actually follow the book instead of it sitting on the desk for passerbys to see. So we'll see how it goes. All right, guys. Roger, what do you want to tell the fine folks at home to go do with themselves?
Well, I'd like you to be safe, be kind to each other, and always be back on the No Faces chat, and be blessed. Bye.
Thank you, sir. And DS, what would you like to tell the fine folks at home, and the not so fine folks, for that matter?
Yeah, everybody is included in this. Make sure you do your homework, and always go with your gut over GPA.
I love that. I love that. It's a guide, folks. It's a guide, and not even a guide for a seller. It's a guide. It's a buyer's tool.
I mean, I don't even use it. Yeah, I don't exactly. It's not even like the end all be all of comic prices. It just shows what somebody paid for one at a certain point in time. But yeah, I mean, if you know what you're dealing in and you have a gut feeling that you should get it, or it's a good price, or it's not, go with your gut. Don't go by GPA, because number one reason, GPA includes all the eBay slabs. Well, that just destroys credibility right there. So I don't know.
Yeah, agreed.
Stuff selling on eBay. I mean, half of the eBay sales these days are phony anyway.
I agree. A lot of market manipulations.
Yeah, so go with your gut, do your homework, and then go with your gut, and you won't get burned. That's how I feel about it.
I agree. All right. Well, and I'll tell everyone, just as always, to read a comic and don't apologize for the red glare. Bye-bye, folks.
Well,
what happened, Roger? Did your glare maker break?
I guess so.